Good evening, guys. Lexus Driver here. Now, I've seen a lot of people who had a lot of ideas. Like, I wouldn't say ideas, like, given their thoughts about the first Bad Guys film. This one I have here is a fan art. I'm pretty sure I might have shown you guys this on YouTube, but this one is regarding discussing about the Bad Guys films. Regarding a sequel. I'm not talking about the film overall. Well, I might, but uh, the director of the film he's really he would really be glad to come up with a sequel for the film because everybody loved the film from the moment they watched it. Sure, like like I said, whenever there's a new movie, there are scenes that you like and there are scenes that you don't like. So uh, when I'm thinking of the sequel of the Bad Guys, I'm thinking like um, the opening the opening of the film would be taking place exactly where the bad guys are released after serving 1 year in a federal penitentiary. Um, the um, the scene that would most likely be in the sequel is the part where Professor Marmalade escapes from prison. For Cuddles, I don't think. I'm pretty sure if Cuddles does reappear, I don't think he'd be working for Professor Marmalade because there's like a missed there's like an easy to miss scene of the ending of the bad guys where Professor Marmalade is like taking all the credit, and we see that, and if you can see like from the right hand corner of the screen, like not like fully on the right hand corner, like at the part where Cuddles is still in the helicopter, he slips away. So I'm assuming that when he slips away, it's possible that it's possible that Cuddles found out who his boss really is. So yeah, if I know that Cuddles he doesn't speak in the first film, but I guarantee that if he does reappear in the sequel, I'm pretty sure he might speak. But I don't think he'd be working for Professor Marmalade because he found out who his boss really is. And there are two things that might come into play. Well, two things. If for the sequel, for Cuddles, he might be revealed to be an alien because in the novels of the bad guys, it actually involves aliens. But my other theory is Cuddles. He found out who his boss really is in the end, and decides to leave the life of crime behind and ditch Professor Marmalade. Uh, and another idea for like if there's going to be a bad guy sequel, if they're working on one, would be like uh, let's see, would be a part where um, Mr. Wolf and his friend, Mr. Wolf, his girlfriend Diane Foxington, and his friends, um, they all head to an orphanage. Like I would say like a bit of a missed opportunity, but they might put it in the sequel. A part where where Mr. Wolf, his girlfriend Diane Foxington, and his friends all head to a children's hospital or an orphanage, and and when they go to that place, Diane would be introduced first, and then she brings out Mr. Wolf and his friends. One of the kids actually approaches Mr. Wolf, and seeing the good inside him, the kid would just go and hug Mr. Wolf, and yeah, Mr. Wolf and his friends would make a good example to the kids. And then this fan art I drew here, made me wish we really get to see more of Mr. Wolf dancing with his girlfriend, Diane Foxington. So at a party, like for example, an aircraft rollout ceremony. So either like at a gala event, a party in the museum, or at an aircraft rollout ceremony when an airline is celebrating a brand new airplane that's joining the fleet. So, yeah. Uh, I really hope that in the sequel we get to see more of Mr. Wolf dancing with his girlfriend. And really, the dance scenes really shows you the love connection between Mr. Wolf and his girlfriend. Also, if there are new characters in the sequel, which is highly likely, um, I'll bet I'll bet Mr. Wolf's friends might get love interests. And ever since, a lot of films now feature LGBT characters. Um, I guarantee that the sequel might include LGBT characters because um, uh, when me and my parents got Netflix, my parents watched some Netflix TV shows and they really didn't expect LGBT characters. So the Bad Guys sequel, I guarantee that they might include LGBT characters. Let's see. And also for the climax, I'll bet the climax. Professor Marmalade, like all the other fans would say that Professor Marmalade isn't really a guinea pig. I'll bet that in the sequel we'll get to see what Professor Marmalade really is, because the novels of the Bad Guys actually involves aliens, so I'm pretty sure the sequel might involve aliens, but only one way to find out. So I'll bet that the alien scene might happen, like the alien reveal scene. I guarantee it might happen during the time when Mr. Wolf is partying with his girlfriend at the aircraft rollout ceremony, or any other party that where they dress formal. There would be a reveal that Professor Marmalade is an alien, and also Professor Marmalade, he is really gonna get his revenge for on Mr. Wolf and his friends. Yeah, whatever the revenge is, I guarantee that that kind of revenge is really gonna be so bad. Like Professor Marmalade is really gonna have harmful intent when he plans his revenge. So I guarantee that the climax is going to be like that if for the sequel. And also, I think in the sequel, Professor Marmalade revealing to be an alien, there's going to be an alien invasion, a lot of endangerment of the public, and I guarantee that Chief Luggins, the police chief who's been going after Mr. Wolf and his friends, wanting to put them behind bars, I guarantee that Chief Luggins will side with Mr. Wolf when defeating Professor Marmalade. Also, I'm pretty sure, I've been watching the let's see, what's the film? Independence Day. I guarantee that that the climax of the Bad Guys, like if Professor Marmalade is revealed to be an alien, and the whole climax is going to be fighting face to face with Professor Marmalade along with his posses. I guarantee that. I guarantee that that the climax is going to be a lot like Independence Day. Both the prequel and the sequel, Independence Day and Independence Day Resurgence. Um, if Cuddles appears in the sequel, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure, like, if he found out who his boss really truly looks like, and knowing what he really is, I can guarantee that Cuddles will officially cut his ties with Marmalade. If Cuddles is revealed to be an alien, then I don't know what's it gonna be. But if Cuddles is a normal human being all along, he would fight his inner demons, defeat Professor Marmalade, and really fully leave the life of crime. But also, the ending of the bad guys, there's actually a moral lesson regarding, like, not only friendship, but also the moral lesson is you leave the life of crime behind, but the life of crime doesn't forget you. So when Professor Marmalade is arrested, he is not going to forget Mr. Wolf, his girlfriend, and his friends, and he'd be plotting his revenge in for what Mr. Snake did along with his friends, because that's really the moral lesson of the film, The Bad Guys. Friendship, knowing who your real friends are. So, Mr. Wolf, he really has friends. His friends are Mr. Snake, his childhood friend, Mr. Shark, Mr. Piranha, and Mr. Tarantula. Those were his real friends, and even though, like, when Mr. Wolf reluctantly went with Diane without his friends, Mr. Wolf, he was really really dejected, and as you can see, like the moment where upon arrival, um, if I could find the video. I'm gonna mute the speakers so that way I won't get a copyright claim. So, you can see here that Mr. Wolf, he's really down. He just, as he stated, he left the only friends he had in his life. Makes you really feel bad for Mr. Wolf. Like, let's see. Yeah, it makes you really feel bad for Mr. Wolf because I actually commented on this video. Like, I said, it's bad enough when Mr. Wolf wants to be the good guy in front of his friends and telling him they were holding him back or being obstacles, but it's worse when he loses his friends over wanting to be the good guy. So, I find this scene to be really depressing, because, everything going on with my mind about this scene, I was like, what is Mr. Wolf and his friends gonna get out of this? Like a trip to the mental hospital, the lethal injection, or 25 to 50 years to life in the most secure Supermax prison in the United States? Which, to answer that question, would be ADX Florence. So, my best bet is, like, you have no idea what the outcome is gonna be. So you can see that Mr. Wolf, he's down. Yeah. But Diane Foxington, she tells her backstory because, as we learned, Diane Foxington, she used to be a criminal, just like Mr. Wolf. So, as you saw in that part, Diane, like Mr. Wolf, actually went after the Golden Dolphin. But the Golden Dolphin, I would say this is like it's. If you guys played GTA 4, like there were two there were two things that were like a generic plot objects to the story. There was the diamonds and the heroin, and you know anytime any characters touches the diamonds, something goes wrong. Anyone who touches the heroin, everybody's at risk. Like in GTA 4, like literally everybody involved with these two things dies, with the exception of Nico, Louise, and Johnny, and some other characters. So I can say that there's a good connection between the bad guys and GTA 4. So as you can see here, Diane Foxington, she was about to steal the golden dolphin. Like she had it, but unfortunately, from the moment she stole the golden dolphin, she realizes that she'll keep hearing all the stereotypes of what she is. So as a result, yeah. So she looked at herself in the mirror and felt like what she's doing is wrong. And as a result, she put back the golden dolphin and decided to build her moral compass. Now, Mr. Wolf, he is building his moral compass. Uh, so, he got help from his friend, from his girlfriend Diane Foxington, and as she stated, um, that Mr. Wolf, he's doing the right thing, and that his friends, if they're real friends, I think they'll understand. So I'd say the bad guys really teaches you a moral lesson. There were two moral lessons of the bad guys. Well, I should say three, because there's actually crime in this one. Number one is crime doesn't pay. Number two, friendship, who are you, like knowing who your real friends are, and the third moral lesson is you leave the world of crime behind, but the world of crime doesn't forget you. So Diane, she left the life of crime, but if she associated with really bad people, like mafias or anything, then those guys, they won't forget her. So she's not only putting herself at risk, but also putting her close friends at risk. So yeah, and also Mr. Wolf, he associated with Marmalade. Uh, there's a good chance that Professor Marmalade will not forget Mr. Wolf and his friends. He's going to be planning his revenge on Mr. Wolf and his friends. Yeah. So I don't know, because now that Mr. Wolf and his friends just served 1 year in a federal penitentiary, I think that Mr. Wolf, he has fully left the life of crime, but we can't forget Professor Marmalade, because Professor Marmalade will never forget Mr. Wolf and his friends, and he's going to be planning his revenge. So as the many comments stated, like I actually wrote another comment regarding like Professor Marmalade. Never underestimate the meaning and elements of friendship, and Professor Marmalade learned it the hard way. So, as it's stated that Professor Marmalade, he has the elements of being a good guy, but the one ingredient he forgot is friendship, because Professor Marmalade, I'd say he's a really scummy guy. Like sure, he has the elements of wanting to be the good guy, but the one thing that he forgot is friendship, because he views friendship as making someone weak and a horrible person. But no, um, friendship, true friends, you'd be very strong, strong, passionate, and That's what makes you truly a good guy. Friendship. So Professor Marmalade, he doesn't have any friends. He only cares about himself. He's really a narcissist. Like showing that he's a good guy, and like being good and whatnot. But in reality, Professor Marmalade, he's a scumbag. Like, he's a really scummy guy. He only cares for what's good for himself and not for anyone else. And I can guarantee that in the sequel, everybody knows who Professor Marmalade really is. So, yeah. Um, and what I'm thinking, everything I saw about this scene, like after breaking out of prison, like I'm pretty sure Mr. Wolf and his friends exceeded. I'm pretty sure Mr. Wolf and his friends have added another year to their prison sentence because I know that I've seen this part from like a law perspective. If a prisoner escapes from prison and they get captured, they added another year to their prison sentence. But I guess like proving that they didn't steal the meteorite and that Mr. Wolf gave everything back shows that he's done robbing people, and giving everything back was really an apology that was really an apology for robbing people because um, I, c- I would say this kind of reminds me of Netflix's TV show Carmen Sandiego. Um, Carmen Sandiego, she's a lady thief, but she only steals from the bad guys. She only steals from Vile. And also another good connection to the bad guys, not only Carmen Sandiego, but also Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper, he is a thief, but he only steals from bad guys. So I guarantee that the sequel, Mr. Wolf and his friends, along with his girlfriend, not only crime fighting, but also, um, like having this like theme of a lady or gentleman thief, stealing from bad guys, and because as Carmen stated, stealing from someone can hurt someone because if you think about it, like, stealing is wrong. It really hurts people. Yeah. So I guarantee that the sequel, it's gonna be like, it's gonna make you pumped up. I'm actually very pumped up of what the sequel is gonna be because from the moment people finished watching this film, they are really dying for a sequel. But like any other sequel, it takes time. So always be patient. No, yeah, just be patient. It takes time and planning to make a sequel. So you can't rush it. So I'm very excited for what the sequel is going to be for the bad guys. I'm pretty sure that they might involve a kissing scene, like Mr. Wolf kissing his girlfriend Diane, but I highly doubt they might add that because that's going to be how should I say this? Um, that's gonna be like pretty short and too obvious, too good to be true, but we don't need a kissing scene because it shows that Mr. Wolf and Diane are really meant for each other. Like it shows that these two are really the best couples in the film. But I don't think I'm pretty sure that Mr. Wolf's friends, Mr. Snake, Mr. Shark, Mr. Piranha, and Mr. Tarantula, I'm pretty sure they might get love interests. Maybe Mr. Snake might fall in love with a female snake, possibly a cobra. or any other snake, because Mr. Snake, he's actually based on a brown snake, which is a very venomous snake. Mr. Shark, since he's a great white shark, I don't know what's his love interest gonna be. Maybe I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a fish related. Maybe a dolphin or another species of shark. He might fall in love with. Mr. Piranha, I think his love interest might either be a clownfish, or I forgot what's the. I think let me know in the comments below like what type of fish Dory is from Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Either either a clownfish or any other small fish similar to his size for Mr. Piranha. And Mr. Tarantula, I think the love interest would either be a hornet, because Mr. Tarantula is like insects, but since she's an arachnid, she might fall in love with a hornet. So I guarantee that maybe the sequel might include more love interests for Mr. Wolf's friends, because in the prequel we see that Mr. Wolf does have a love interest, which is Diane Foxington, who's a fox. So yeah, that's all. That's all I have to say about some ideas for like if for the Bad Guys 2, like what the plot's gonna be for the sequel. Like I wouldn't say plot. Like I'm just saying ideas, like what they would place in the sequel. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. And also, don't forget to give it a like, because this will really help out. This will really help me out make more content like this. And also, I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want to see this this drawing I made on DeviantArt. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye and good night.